how can listening, actively listening to what someone else is saying, can help you be yourself better understood. Hello, my dear.
Hello, lovely. How are
How are
you?
you doing? Good. And
Great.
you?
We're good. Thank you.
Okay. So today the topic is listening to be understood, and we're speaking at the same time. This is gonna be lovely. What does your mug say? Because it's backward.
Oh, oh, it says there is oil in the house of the wise. It's
Interesting.
from the Bible, actually. It's a
Okay.
proverb. hmm I love the topic. Thank you
Do
for
you?
choosing it. I do, because isn't that a wise man once said nothing? I think, what was it, Nelson Mandela, who listened to his father over and over in those tribal meetings, that he was always the last one to speak.
Mhm.
Great leader and great leaders in their leadership training talk about to listen and let everybody else talk before anything, before they say anything, before they react in any way. And I found myself in my, well, gosh, it's a struggle for me still to just sit back and listen and to take it all in and not wanting to defend or to say something or to just react versus to take in and just be present.
It's like anything. It's a skill to take the habit of hearing what someone else say and to give yourself some grace. First of all, I think everybody struggles with that. There wouldn't be books about it if it was easy. And second of all, I feel that sometimes we just want to jump in because it's interesting. We want to share, and it's not necessarily because you don't want to listen to the other person. So I would say the first thing is to understand what is the situation and the circumstances you're in, because if you're chit chatting with your friend at a bar, sometimes it's okay to just jump in and get in. But if you want to improve your communication skills, this is something you can practice actually with your friend at the bar, and see how it goes, because it can be very uncomfortable. And I don't know about you, but I had that in my mind that we can try that together during that entire talk. How does it go? Because I got some comments actually about our lives, that people liked the fact that we were quite authentic and sharing that everything that we're talking about, and the tips that we're sharing, they're not that easy. So we're not coming trying to tell you guys, well, just do that, that's easy, why don't you do it? We know better. We're like you guys, struggling with it.
I am listening, and it's really like it's a raging carousel in here. Okay, when are you done? Are you done? Are you done yet? Can I talk? So, but this
The
is,
worst is I'm the kind of person who's just gonna keep talking and talking and talking.
but that's what it is, right? When the point of getting to that point of awareness that, oh, what is it actually that makes you feel that way, that wants you to jump in, that wants you to add or react. Like, let's take it into the studio when you have conversations with either your peers or
Do you
your
talk in the studio?
leaders. Oh shoot, it's been a while.
Oh my
um
god,
oh,
I
you're
am
not
shocked.
we're not talking in the studio anymore, we're not allowed to. Okay,
No, of
sorry.
course we do.
Well, let's just
But you can
let's
send
just
you can send a text message.
assume that, or even in a conversation with your director, right? Like, not having a conversation that, let's say, is comfortable, where it is even more important to know that sitting back and listening and letting silence do the heavy lifting, is really imperative, not only to establish some sort of authority, but also to be able to take everything in, and you're not going out of a meeting dissatisfied, completely rattled, like all your senses are on hyper alert. It's just not going to produce a great outcome. And I think, particularly as dancers, we're not used to using our voice and our vocal skills a lot, right? That's why so many
Definitely.
dancers are afraid to have conversations because they have the story in their head. I can't talk. I don't know what to say. I never use my voice. I don't have the vocabulary. I'm just a dancer.
And plus, very often we're in international companies. You may not be fluent in the language that is being used in the company. That adds to
No.
that. But I love the fact that you said that you're not going to get the best outcome if you jump in the conversation. So maybe to be clear on the benefits of listening with the intent to understand before you speak up, we could highlight a couple. And the one that comes to my head, so you have time to think about yours, is that it actually gives you time to think about what you want to say. But before you do that, the first benefit is that you can really try to understand what the other person is telling you. Because for you to get your point across, let's say, for example, you're in a kind of negotiation discussion, you need to understand what's important to that other person so that you understand where you can make a compromise that is actually not a compromise, but a win-win situation where the other person's interests are preserved. And this is usually what they're trying to express, what they're trying to protect. And instead of just fighting for what you want, you can listen to what they feel that needs to be protected. And it gives you time to think, okay, I see what's important to them, and I can find a way that both of us are happy. Okay, that's ideal work because sometimes it doesn't work like that. But at least give it a chance.
Mm. Yes, 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 and yes. I think what I would add here, it also gives you time to like think about your next move, not only to listen to what they're saying, but really what are they saying? And how are they saying it? Do I actually need to ask questions to clarify what you're saying? Am I assuming an outcome here? This is all a conversation that you can have with yourself while somebody else is talking. And it the only thing required is to take your the only thing required is to take your emotions out of the picture. Good luck with that.
Which is
Um,
why listening is helpful.
Yeah, because you can calm down, you can calm your nervous system down. You're not coming from a place of ego right away. If you feel like an emotion coming in and you feel like you have to react to what they say, write it down. That always works for me.
Yeah.
So I don't jump into the conversation. And if it's really important, you will remember. If it's just a record of the past that, a sentence or a feeling triggered some sort of trauma from, I don't know, 20 years ago, you can let that go because it's not yours. And then you will have different conversations because you're not making it about you. You're making it about the win-win situation.
Yes, making it about everyone. There's one thing you said that I liked, it was to ask questions. I think that sometimes we forget that part in a conversation. You heard someone say something. A tool that we give often in terms of effective communication is repeat what you think you understood, or repeat in a sentence like you feel that, and then you paraphrase what you think you understood the other person was saying. That's usually used also in therapy, not just couple therapy, all kind of therapy. You're trying to understand what the other person is feeling, saying, understanding, because then also you give them a chance to clarify that maybe they used the wrong word, you know? Sometimes you speak too fast, or sometimes you say something and hearing it from someone else, you're like, no, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said that, but that's not really what I meant. And that avoid a lot of conflict, very honestly.
A lot. And a lot of energy too, right?
Do you do
Because
that with your kids?
we do, yes.
How does
Um,
it work?
um, they're all boys, so nothing against the man. It is harder for them to repeat back what I say
Is
or
it?
what we say. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Um, now seriously, mid 40s here, totally forgot my train of thought. Where were we? Help me out. Oh,
asking questions.
asking questions. I believe that since in dance and ballet, we are so trained to take directions so well
Hmm.
and don't understand or have also not been encouraged to ask questions often because asking questions was, and I'm going from my perspective, seen as why didn't you get it? You are not paying attention, you're lazy, you're here. I say it's stupid, it takes you longer than others. It was embarrassing to ask questions.
Yes.
And relearning that asking questions is actually a great thing because it shows that you're involved in the conversation. It shows that you're bought in, that you want to clarify. When we assume things from other people, it actually costs us so much more. It costs us a lot of energy because we don't know for certain. And when we're not certain, we are going down the drain over and over and over again, reliving that same scenario, which costs a lot of energy that, quite frankly, you can use on, I don't know, on learning more about yourself or creating whatever you want to do. And what I also found is when we're assuming is that we're actually putting something that's ours onto another person, and that doesn't work in a clear communication or even in a relationship, right? You just need to talk. You just gotta talk.
Yeah, and that's actually the point of that all that art of listening with the aim of understanding what the other person is saying rather than listening to reply, to actually be able to dissociate your own experience from the other experience. Very often we want to jump in with our own experience, which can be okay sometimes because we're just trying to illustrate, to actually create a connection. Very often we're actually doing that to create a connection. But you just have to be mindful of when you use it, because there are moments where you will create that connection. And there are other circumstances where you would actually break it because the other person will react like, it's not about you. Like, why do you keep telling me that this and this and this happened? And I think all of us are remembering one instance where that happened. And I was sharing my experience, and the other person started saying, "Oh, well, yeah, that happened to me too." And I'm like, my instant reaction was, first of all, it's not about you. I honestly, right now, don't care that it happened to other people. I need to share and I need to be able to let it go so I can process my emotions. And just the fact that it happened to other people doesn't make it any less. But there are times where it does. So you have to practice so that you can understand in which situation you are. So you understand like when it's valuable to share your own insight and when it's valuable to ask questions because the person wants to speak more about it.
Hmm. That was really good. Yeah, I like that. And
I'm
I like the
still
way
annoyed
of
by that
conversation.
conversation.
Not over it, obviously.
No.
Got it. But that's the point when we're having conversations. They're not meant to be like sitting with us and we're dwelling on it and thinking, how could that person have meant it? Like, what did she actually say? Why did she say that? Versus being really, okay, this is how I feel. Um, we're spending so much time and energy trying to figure out what other people think about us, what they're talking about us, and I'm taking this right out of professional ballet company experience over 10
Mm-hmm.
years. Oh my gosh, the director looked at me this way, but I can't ask him. So therefore, I'm just gonna dwell on that for the next 3 days and
Mm-hmm.
spend my energy on trying to figure out what that signal meant versus going up to him saying, "Hey, that look you gave me, what was that? It triggered me. I feel insecure. I don't feel safe. What is it?" And I think imagine what kind of a relationship we would actually build in companies and how much freer and gosh, yeah, freer people would feel and more secure also, safer to create and to like share their soul,
Definitely, yeah.
right? Not
Yeah, yeah.
saying that there are not companies out there that are implementing this kind of behavior. However, I think
It's not
it
yet
is
the majority. I think we
it
can
is
agree.
not yet the majority, exactly. And I think these kind of skills we're not putting up as important to learn. You know, where you and I believe that is like the base of any kind of interaction or communication. All the topics that we're talking about, it would be so cool if all of this could be implemented.
Which
And
is what we're talking about it.
exactly, yes. And
Oh,
giving it as an example for everybody to, hey, you can start today. You can start with your girlfriend sitting, I don't know, on a park bench in the middle of Paris and start listening to each other.
yeah, you need to practice. I mean, I was one of those because same thing. I was used to just like taking it in, and I've never been actually, believe me or not, but I've never been really comfortable with words. Uh, yeah, I know. But it's when I did my NLP coach training, one of the first, if not the first, exercise we're given is to listen for 30 minutes the other person and repeat back what we heard. But the funny thing is that I'm actually used to listening to what other people to say, and I have quite a good memory. So probably repeated almost everything she said. But just the fact that I knew I had to repeat everything made me be more conscious of my listening skills. And I realized that I actually had it. So I went from I think I don't have it to no, actually, you're a good listener. It's just you don't mindfully practice it. And that's the trigger for me. That was the moment that changed everything. I went from I don't think I have a skill to actually you do and you're good at it. And it's actually a very nice moment.
Mm.
Just listening, trying to focus on what the other person is saying. I was about to say trying to block your thought, but that's not how it works. If you try to block your thought, they come. But you're really, really dwelling into, and I think at the end I was like this. So into it. And I practiced that for quite some time. Very uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
enjoyable
Mm.
somehow.
Good for you. No, it's uncomfortable. That would push me far out of my comfort familiar
I'm
zone.
here if you want to practice. Because,
Join
you
us
know, I
for our
can
next
talk and
IG
talk and
Live.
talk.
Okay, so shall we tie a bow?
I think so, because it's a fairly easy and straightforward topic, but though it's extremely important. And I think for me, the key takeaway is that just practice with people that you're comfortable with, practice with your friend, listening, repeating in your head what they're saying, catching key phrases and key words, and asking them, I heard you say this. Can you tell me more about it? I heard you say that you feel. Can you tell me more about it? What does that mean for you? And genuinely ask questions about what the other person meant. What is their world? And see where it goes from there. Don't
Mm.
start with important conversation, please.
No, 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 no. Don't do that.
Practice.
Practice, 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 practice. It's not, you don't go first day on stage in front of, I don't know, 10,000 people. You go and practice, right? Same thing.
Exactly.
Actually, you know, on that topic, everything is
Although I know some
practice.
people who did that.
Oh, awesome. So tomorrow, in tomorrow's IG, we will be a little later, at
Yes.
8 p.m. European Standard Time and 11 a.m. over here at the other side of the world. And so here's what I really want to talk about, and that is having having our own back.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I have noticed that I don't know about you, but in the morning when you go brush your teeth and you stand in front of the mirror, what's that what's that conversation you have? Like, what are the thoughts that are really coming in? Oh, I'm just gonna pose that question and give that to you to think about it. And I was listening to Mel Robbins over the weekend quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit, and she has a new book out about the high five habit. And there is so much science behind us actually high-fiving ourselves in the morning in the mirror. How awkward that is in the beginning because you're actually telling yourself, hey, I like you. And you're changing the thought pattern with an action. And that is even more so something that will really set in. So that's one topic we can talk about. And I have another thought.
Okay.
I also want to talk about, do you know how artists love to go to shows for free? It's almost like an expectation at times to, oh, I'll come when I get a free ticket
Okay. To attend the performance.
to attend a
Mm-hmm.
show, a performance, yeah. And
You mean as an artist or the audience?
as an artist,
Okay. Okay. Well, because
and
we're broke. Duh.
yeah, but we're not breaking the cycle, meaning
Yeah,
that,
true.
we're just perpetually saying that, oh, I'm broke, I want to see you, but then we're not showing up the way as if we would have at least paid $20 for the ticket, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having that energy exchange, and maybe having a talk about that and how we can start supporting each
Yeah.
other. And I see it more and more in the entrepreneurial world and in women on how they're supporting each other, not only through shouting each other out, but buying each other's stuff and helping each other to become what everybody wants to become.
Yeah.
And I don't see a reason why we can't apply that in the performing arts world either. So
I love
that's
both
another topic.
topics because I had some comment this week of why some of my videos were under subscription. So I'm happy to jump in any of those two conversations.
So, well,
We can
you
have
know what?
both because
Let's have that second one, the later one.
Okay.
We'll talk about how we can support each other, or, stop asking for things for free. It's
And then
great
we
to
do
have
high five
something
it
for
next
them.
week because I love this
Yeah,
topic too.
yeah. And oh man, she is. Try it. Just try it for a week. Tell me how awkward it is to go up to a mirror and high five yourself.
I already do it, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you're my girl. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening on this kind of conversation.
And you are awesome. Every single one of you, you're awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. Just never ever forget that. Don't let anybody else tell you that. Um, how's that? The voice in your head, it's not even yours. It's not you talking. It's somebody else that gave you all of that stuff and you're not
Unless it
picking
says
up.
you're awesome.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. But all the negative stuff, that's not you. Not yours. Not for you to keep. Okay. Shudder over listening.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you
Bye.
next week.